criminal gangs have been getting away with this for far too long. I want to thank the UK National Crime Agency, along with their Dutch and Belgian counterparts, for all their hard work and their crucial role in this investigation. It's exactly what we want to see. And it shows that our approach of working with international partners to smash the people smuggling gangs is bearing fruit. In just over 4 months since the election, we've rapidly set up a new border security command, bringing together key agencies to disrupt people smuggling gangs.
Keir Starmer has dealt a severe blow to his party by making a monumental fail. There is widespread anger towards Labour, and it's hard to argue against that sentiment. However, this time Starmer didn't merely err, he crossed an irreversible line. His decision is so outrageous that it feels as though he has sealed his own fate. This move will undoubtedly shorten his time in office and push his party to the brink of disaster.
Now, I know that you have previously in the past said that Keir Starmer might be unpopular, but he's still the most popular MP. I don't think we can say that today, can we? He's gone from gone to -31. He's let you down badly.
He has. I mean, because when you asked me that question originally, he was at the top of that mountain.
Yes.
And he was, very briefly after the election, he was the most popular politician in Britain. But goodness me.
I know.
That is the steepest. I mean, that is the steepest decline, I think, since Liz Truss. I mean, the problem is Liz Truss wasn't there long enough,
right,
to really plumb the depths.
Right. But I'm not even sure. I mean, funnily enough, she's coming in tomorrow to talk to us about the budget, which I'm sure you'll appreciate is a rather clever move on our part. But isn't it funny that I don't think she was probably as popular as he was when she got in, whereas he was quite popular when he got in, and he's just kind of suddenly lost it. What do you think has gone wrong for him?
Well, he's had a terrible start as Prime Minister.
The Reform Party is quickly closing in on first place and is currently leading the Conservatives by 1%. The Conservatives, having lost as much as 4% of their support, have now dropped to a mere 20%. This is a significant setback for Starmer. It indicates that his arch-rival, the key figure of Brexit, is poised to take his position in Downing Street.
Emma Wolf is here. Very good morning to you, Emma.
Good morning.
Let's kick things off, shall we, with Sir Keir Starmer, or Sir Keith Starlin, as some people like to call him, who's apparently smashing the gangs one person at a time. Check this out.
It is good news that today a man suspected of being a significant supplier of small boat equipment has been arrested.
Starmer is currently experiencing a significant decline in public support. The Labour Party, which once outperformed the Conservatives, is now facing intense competition, and public sentiment towards it is growing increasingly negative. Reform UK has already set its sights on the electorate, which is a concerning development. A recent poll indicates that Reform UK could potentially gain 12 additional seats from the Conservatives within the Labour Party, as their support has risen from 14.7% to 21%. Starmer has made another critical error, damaging the Labour Party's credibility. They now stand at a mere 33%, having lost their majority due to reforms in the UK.
He seems to have made a series of poor decisions. I mean, delaying the budget, I think, was possibly the worst thing.
Yes.
Because it's just allowed weeks and weeks of speculation and people being scared that they're going to be clobbered in one way or another. And, you know, many of them are going to be clobbered. But, I mean, you know, it probably isn't going to be as bad as people have feared by the time we get to tomorrow.
It might not be,
but damage is done.
But of course the damage is done, as you say, and of course the Speaker of the House is also having a go at Labour, because every time he looks around there's somebody leaking more details of the budget, which they're not supposed to do.
People may feel relief when Farage is gone due to his polarising presence in UK politics. His departure could signify a reduction in divisive rhetoric and the controversies associated with his leadership. Many believe that his absence might lead to a more constructive political environment, allowing for a focus on unity and addressing pressing issues. Farage emerged as a key figure in the Brexit movement, passionately opposing the European Union and playing a crucial role in Britain's quest for independence. He reached the pinnacle of his influence when he declared the Independence Day of Great Britain, marking a significant moment in the nation's history.
I got called by the Speaker to ask a question in PMQs. Well, the Prime Minister was not going to answer my direct question in any way at all, and all those Labour MPs screaming and shouting at me, gosh, it felt like being back in the European Parliament. I really rather enjoyed it. But the serious point, of course, and he's right, that with a population that has exploded over the course of the last few years, the previous government did not build enough prison places. But the whole question of early release, I mean, what is the point of a sentence if people are let out after only serving 40% of it? One of the people released from one of the northern prisons yesterday had, wait for it, 109 previous convictions. So that person, I would say, is...
Nigel Farage has emerged as a true emblem of the era since Britain announced its withdrawal from the EU. His impact is undeniable. Whether people love him or hate him, he consistently elicits strong emotions and debates. He has become a public favorite, with his name frequently on the lips of millions. What sets him apart even further is his close relationship with the new US President Donald Trump, the leader of the Republican Party. This connection enhances his power and stature, highlighting his significance on the global stage. Farage embodies the spirit of independence and determination that inspires many. He is not merely a politician. He has become a symbol of the fight for freedom and self-governance, and his influence continues to expand, leaving a lasting mark on history.
You have a man from Europe, I don't know if he's here, I saw him backstage. What he did was, and what he is doing is sort of what we did a few years ago. He's doing a great job. He's always been my friend for some reason. He liked me, I liked him, and he's shaking it up pretty good over there. He was the big winner of the last election in the UK, and he's a very spectacular man, very highly respected, Nigel Farage.
Starmer can effectively bid farewell to his hopes of building bridges with the Republican camp, as he and his team have truly alienated Trump. This isn't just a setback, it's a significant blow to his ambitions. With Trump back in power, Farage is poised to become one of the most influential figures in Britain. Let's be honest, Starmer is likely feeling the pressure. Farage is nearing a position where he can remind Starmer that the real competition is just starting. Next week promises to bring something monumental that could dramatically alter the trajectory of reform. While I'm uncertain if they will achieve a complete victory, I firmly believe they will siphon off a considerable number of votes from the Conservatives. They've already garnered 20% of the vote, an impressive feat. It's remarkable how a party that didn't even participate in the last election has managed to secure such a substantial share in such a short time. It's truly astonishing. Yet, Starmer, despite having power, has failed to make any effective moves. Instead, he has only worsened the situation for himself and his party, which is perplexing. How could one not seize such an opportunity? It's disheartening to witness this unfold.
So it's been an extraordinary few weeks for Reform UK. The party has rocketed up the polls since Nigel Farage announced 2 weeks ago that he was taking over as leader. Our latest polling suggests Reform can get 5 seats. That's 5 more than we were predicting at the start of the campaign, and they include places like Claxton in Essex, Boston and Skegness, another big Leave voting constituency, as well as Ashfield and 2 more. So why are voters here choosing this party? Well, Reform UK say they want to win over people from what they describe as left-behind communities. And if we look at the places where their message is cutting through, we can see that they do experience higher levels of deprivation than the rest of the country. This index here, it measures things like income, education, health, and housing.
I was profoundly disappointed by Keir Starmer's speech, and I'm sure many others share that sentiment. The national polls leave no room for doubt. we are not in a strong position, which is truly shocking. Since he took office, his approval rating has plummeted by around 30 points. He is quickly becoming one of the most unpopular prime ministers we've seen in quite some time. Just a couple of hours ago, we released the results of a new poll indicating that since Labour's victory in early July, Starmer's rating has dropped by 36 points. This clearly shows that he lacks public support, which is a disaster. Currently, his rating stands at -13, and if that doesn't resonate, it means he's nearing what we could call Prince Harry's territory. He really seems to have squandered his opportunity, doesn't he? This failure prevents Starmer from solidifying his party's position, despite all the strategies he has employed since becoming Prime Minister of Great Britain. While he is losing support, Farage is rapidly attracting new voters and supporters nationwide with his clear and straightforward stance.
The 45th most deprived constituency in the UK. And then on the opposite end, we've got places like Surrey Heath and mid-Buckinghamshire, usually Tory heartlands. But how much does reform have to offer people living in places like Clacton? Well, let's take a look at their biggest policy on tax. This is what Nigel Farage had to say about it at the party's manifesto launch.
But I think the most innovative policy that we've put out in here is to raise the level at which people start paying tax to £20,000 a year. That would be a good thing.
On the other hand, the leader of the reformers appears to have fully taken control of the situation, which is truly impressive. If you believe that Farage is becoming increasingly unstoppable each day, you are absolutely correct. Nigel Farage confidently holds a top position, remains vigilant, and diligently fulfills his responsibilities. This commitment has earned him genuine support from the public, and it's hard to overlook how rapidly his popularity is rising. His exponentially growing influence creates a significant political challenge for Starmer, making it fascinating to observe. What are your thoughts on this video? Feel free to share in the comments, and see you next time.